The college football experience, Ohio State Buckeyes 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET. Get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bets today. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Yeah, make sure to check out our new Discord server. It's the perfect place to interact and sweat out bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Ohio State Buckeyes season preview for 2022. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing.
Somebody knows. Double the price. But no one touches Dundee.
Ho, ho, ho. It is a big year for Ryan Day because Harbaugh is coming at him. And believe it or not, I know Buckeye fans. I'm a big fan of the fans of Ohio State. All right, they are quality.
Oh yeah.
All right, shout out
among
to
the best fans in all of football.
and shout out to Tommy's Diner. All right, classic place on 914 West Broadway Street. I highly recommend hopping over there. But Patty C, you were one that I was a fool. Last year I was a fool. I thought Michigan was not gonna be that great. You were on the Wolverines.
Saw the comeback coming. I think it's fair that you were sleeping on them.
But you were also on the Wolverines for like the past 10 years to beat Ohio State. So I guess even a blind acorn.
That's right. Yeah. Blind dog finds a day. Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
But I think it's I'm sorry. Am I not even introduced? I'm joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi. Well.
Yes, I can't wait for college football. Yeah, I can't wait for college football. Notre Dame is gonna play Ohio State week 1. It's going to be fantastic. Should I do more music? Think I have a future in that?
You have a future. I think what is it? Emmy, Oscar? What's the music?
Dude, if Fred Durst can do it, I think I can fucking do it.
Fred Durst is sitting there. I mean, now you're off the market. But Fred Durst, we looked at his list of his dating list.
Fred Durst, hey, you almost can't dislike him. At first, I used to say like, man, I can't stand. He's not talented. And then I saw what he went through from a dating point of view.
Dude,
I was like, you know what? I love this guy.
It's called taking a pair of fives and winning the whole pot with it, or winning a whole tournament with that kind of dealing. Yeah, played his hands all the way to the max and got some of the best buns of anyone on earth.
I mean, it's pretty hilarious what he did there. I mean, I know we're supposed to be talking about Ohio State here, but it's basically, I would say, what like Navy does or Army when they have like an 11-win season.
Yeah, that's Fred Durst's whole dating career. Unbelievable.
He has pulled in. I mean, I let me just try to quickly give the audience. They're probably like, "What the hell are we listening to right now?" But I just want to let people know that he definitely has overachieved.
Let me the fans of Ohio State, are they also fans of Fred Durst?
No, I think they're more like me that are probably like, how did this guy do it? And you know, I mean, first off, he's got a net. He's worth over $20 million. For a guy, I can't dislike him because he's 5'8". First off, he's 5'8".
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm just saying he's taking it really far, and I think you gotta respect it. I mean, he's dated Alyssa Milano, Britney Spears, Jamie Presley, Pamela Anderson. I mean, you go on and on. I mean, I'm missing something.
You know what it is? Women love a sincere and honest man, and he was being sincere when he said,
"No. Women love a $20 million man."
Well, that too. But what I was saying is, when he said, "I did it all for the nookie, so you could take that cookie and stick it up your whatever the hell that's."
He dated Paris Hilton. Well, I don't know what he saw there. He dated Carmen Electra too. I mean, this guy's gone through. He's gone. He is really hey.
Like every '90s.
Shout out to Fred Durst. All right, look.
Playboy cover model. He's probably
CJ Stroud is the Fred Durst of quarterbacks.
No.
Well, no, he's very talented, but you see my point I'm trying to make here is he's hitting home runs left and right. All right. And he's back. Now let's talk about Ohio State a season ago because they were pretty nasty with the exception. I got to be honest though. I was shocked with the Oregon game because I thought no way. Oregon whooped their ass.
Well, Oregon hit some home runs on them too.
No, Oregon dominated that game, and I did not see that coming.
Ohio State turned it on and started to come back. They didn't have enough time to come back.
Go back and watch that game. The line of scrimmage was dominated by the Ducks.
They definitely blasted open some holes, and Verdell was getting through them. And I want to say they were running the same play over and over and over. And what was Coombs the head man in charge? I think he got replaced after that game. Kerry Coombs is the DC because they just weren't adjusting at all, and they got hit with the same play like 20 times, and that was it.
Did Muhammad Ibrahim before the injury the week before give them a blueprint of perhaps
maybe because he was getting off too.
They were giving him a tough game.
Yeah. Even Tulsa, I feel like gave him a bit of a.
That score's a little deceiving. That score's a little deceiving. But after that, they turned it on.
Well, they had like 4 get right games in a row: Akron, Rutgers, Maryland, and Indiana. And then finally they face some competition, and Penn State gives them a tough
Nebraska gave them a game.
Yeah, Nebraska gave them a tough game. And then they said, all right, we finally got it together. They put it on Purdue. They absolutely annihilated Michigan State. And then came the big one.
Well, let's get into it because I mean, there's no way he's on the hot seat. He's 34-4, Patty C.
He's nowhere near the hot seat.
But I mean, Harbaugh came at him. I mean, do I need to play this? Do I need to?
Throw it out.
Sometimes people that are standing on third base think they hit a triple, but they didn't.
It's getting personal, and I love it. I'm here for all of it. I can't wait to watch that fucking game. You guys know what I'm talking about, but he's coming at Ryan Day right there.
He's not lying though, because Urban Meyer finished in the top 12 and really like the top 6. I want to say 7 years straight. Before Ryan Day took over the job. So that's pretty much being born like 2 feet from home base.
Well, I mean, I am a bit surprised when I dug into the numbers here. Let's hop into it, Patty C. Because look, Kevin Wilson is back at offensive coordinator, and I think he's a pretty damn good offensive coordinator. I actually think he should have never been let go at Indiana. I think he was the one that actually built Indiana, and I think Ryan Day. I mean, look, it's not that Ryan Day's done a bad job.
Yeah,
I just think a lot of coaches could have gone 34-4. You know what I mean? With the talent, because no one is close to Ohio State on the talent level in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no one's close. We'll get
maybe
to that.
Penn State's starting to emerge.
No,
and they're still far away, right? They were first in scoring offense in the country last year, Patty C. 47th in rush offense. That was a little surprising to me. I feel like they could run the ball a little bit better this year. 3rd in the nation in pass offense, 1st in the nation in total offense. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They finished number 1 in the nation in offense. So
well, I think Kevin Wilson really liked to throw the ball around. I was just looking back at like previous years. He took over in 2017, and JT Barrett. Let's see, in 2016, JT Barrett was 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He jumps up in 2017 to 35 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So 8 touchdown improvement, and then you go Dwayne Haskins 50 touchdowns in 2018. Fields 41
and that's
touchdowns.
Right when Wilson kind of came in, right?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, so 17, 18. Okay.
And then boom, and then Fields 44 touchdown. Or
if you're an Ohio
Stroud,
State fan,
touchdowns.
do you want to see them run the ball more?
I think you do.
I think so too.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a little concerning. But hey, CJ Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in America, and he's back. And Treveyon Henderson, he rushed for 1,200 yards as a freshman, and really, kind of really impressed after.
Let me tell you about I have to eat a little crow because Treveyon Henderson started out, and I think it probably just took him a second to adjust to the speed of the college game because he was getting all the 5 stars. He's a Virginia guy, so we were like, all right, let me keep a closer eye on those guys to see if they're legit. And he started a little slow, but then boom, he figured out the speed of the game, and he was getting to the holes in time. And
1,200 yards freshman year, I'd say it's success.
Yeah, he had enough breakaway speed that once he gets out in the secondary, doesn't normally get walked down. One thing that's a little concerning though, you have that much of an aerial attack. You're running a little inside zone, outside zone stuff instead of like the old school stuff with Eddie George where you're running power. When you get that much open space, you're going to put up huge numbers. But when you need to run between the tackles, does Treveyon Henderson have that?
I don't know. I just think they need to commit to the run more. The talent is all there.
I'm not sure. I think
really?
I don't think he can bang between the tackles if they need him to.
I'm sure they got someone back there that can.
Probably. Yeah.
3 of 5 back on the O line, led by Paris Johnson. Shout out to Pepper Johnson, former Buckeye. They do lose 2 of their top wideouts from a year ago, Patty C. But does it matter? No. Did you watch the Rose Bowl? Because Jaxson Smith-Njigba or whatever, that fucking guy is like, that's Jerry Rice. They have Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
they have 21-year-old Jerry Rice.
Yeah, when they had Wilson and Olave, who both went in the top 11 in the draft last year, I was like, okay, they're gonna take a big L, and then boom, neither of them played in the Rose Bowl. Right?
I know, and then this dude had like 400,000 yards in the Rose Bowl. It was fucking ridiculous.
He's the best. He's the best they've had.
He's incredible. And then they have Marvin Harrison Jr. Just didn't give Syracuse any love. Come on,
right?
They also have Mika Ubuku. Their receivers might be as good this year as last year, which is insane.
Yeah, and he's a first-team preseason all-conference kick returner.
Insane. Now maybe that's why they throw the ball. They say, we have better receivers than everybody.
Yeah,
wasn't Jameson Williams like their 5th wideout last year? Coming, and that's why he transferred to Bama.
Was he really?
I think so. Something crazy like that.
Wow.
They're breaking in a new tight end with Cade Stover, but I'm sure he's talented too. Are you at all worried about anything on this offense, Patty C? If I'm an Ohio State fan, I would just worry that they need to run more consistently. I get it. The pass is your forte, but 47th in rush offense. If I'm a Buckeye fan, I would want that to be top 25.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 23rd.
I think you need to practice leaning on the run because if you face a team that is able to basically physically dominate your offensive line without having to blitz, and then you're passing into a lot of coverage, then you need to be able to adjust and run into that defense. And if they are not used to it, then it's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
I don't think many teams can physically dominate, but Michigan was able to last year.
Yeah, 5 rushing touchdowns by Corum?
Well,
not Corum.
Haskins.
Yeah, Haskins.
But I mean, physically dominate on the defense side of the ball. Ohio State's offensive line, which is a little bit of a question mark again. Obviously, the skill position completely solid for Ohio State.
Well, they went out and they got a slam dunk hire, I think, on the defense coordinator side. Jim Knowles coming in from Oklahoma State, where Oklahoma State, I think most people thought Gundy's high-powered offenses. That hadn't really been the case the past couple of years. It'd been Jim Knowles' lockdown defense that had been a real force in the Big 12.
That is surprising. Not what you expect from Oklahoma State.
The only question is this, Patty C, and I wonder, the Big 12 does have, like Lincoln Riley's offenses and Steve Sarkisian / Tom Herman and Baylor was, I feel like, putting up a lot of points. They didn't really have ground and pound, and I feel like Michigan's kind of a ground and pound team. I think Michigan State kind of is moving in that direction.
I think Penn State often is at least balanced.
Yeah. So it is going to be interesting to see Iowa. How he's been a good DC. He was at Duke prior, Cutcliffe when they went to the ACC championship, which is still probably the most amazing thing that's ever happened in college football. 38th in scoring defense a year ago. So hey, they could score. 28th in rush defense. As we lose some power on the old backdrop here. 28 in rush offense here, but 97th in pass offense. Patty C, 97th
pass defense.
Yeah, pass defense. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of trying to get the logo back going. This is what happens,
97th in pass defense. Yeah, I mean that is a massive concern. Now they do have a few guys in the secondary that are getting some preseason love, namely Denzel Burke and Ronnie Hickman, both pretty effective. Let me see in the conference statistics. I want to say, was it Hickman who led the conference in passes defended last year, if I'm not mistaken? Let me.
Well, I mean,
Burke in passes.
Yeah,
defended.
Denzel Burke. He's a beast. I think they're gonna just they hit the transfer portal, brought in some players too. But Steele Chambers back at the linebacker spot. Also Tommy Eichenberg. That guy's gonna be a stud. They still got Teron Vincent on the defensive line. They are bringing back a decent amount on the defensive side of the ball. They got a kicker in the transfer portal. A couple of them.
Well, I thought they were bringing back the. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, their kicker was good last year, 20-21.
They got some kickers though, man.
Yeah,
they're going for some competition. What do you make though? Is Knowles the guy to get them to like year one? Is he going to have that instant impact? I know he brought in some transfers, like we will get to, but I'm curious. 97th in pass defense is fucking insane for Ohio State.
Yeah,
that's like to me, like Ohio State is like to me one of the DBUs.
Completely
back to
unacceptable.
the days of fucking Sean Gale. You know what I mean? Like this has been a secondary of Sean Springs. I mean, go on and on and on about Chris Gamble.
That's true.
They always got guys. How the hell are they 97th in pass defense?
It doesn't make any sense because
this is an example of recruiting perhaps being overrated.
I wonder if that Utah game was a huge part of that though. Because
no, I think a lot of the games, man.
What teams really went off on them through the air last year? It must have happened.
Well, I do feel like Oregon and Minnesota were running the ball against them.
We know Michigan was running the ball against them. Michigan State didn't do jack against them.
Maybe Purdue put up some points. Yeah. You're right. Well, Michigan State didn't do anything. Maybe Penn State. I don't know. I got to go back. I'd have to go back and watch the film. You're right though, because that stretch. Yeah, you make a good point.
Aiden
Maybe
O'Connell might have got off on him a little bit week one last year, but
no. To Tanner Morgan, you mean?
Or Tanner Morgan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, those numbers are shocking. There ain't any other way to cut it. And this year, Jim Knowles is I think must watch TV. The defense for Ohio State more so than anything, maybe in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean that's the big question mark. Supposedly, we were reading that his defensive rebuilds, typically take a couple years. So
he never had Ohio State talent, though.
That's true.
This should be
speeds up the process a little bit.
We're gonna talk transfer portal. We're gonna talk recruiting rankings. We're gonna talk predictions. What Vegas expects out of the Ohio State Buckeyes. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you'll see this graphic here in the corner. Subscribe to the College Football Experience, and remember, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience too, because we love what Chris Holtman's doing with the Buckeyes. It's a big year for him. He's had some early exits in the tournament. Subscribe to both feeds though. We're gonna go game by game and project what we think the Buckeyes will do in 2022. But first, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you that the College Football Experience Ohio State Buckeyes preview on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's WINNBET to claim your free bets today. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Yes, make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat out bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're also brought to you by Dave. No, I'm not talking about. Give me a Dave that went to Ohio State. I'm sure they've had plenty of Daves. I don't know.
I have no idea. Where did Dewerson play? Was he a Buckeye?
He might have been. I think he might be right.
Let me see.
No, maybe I'm thinking of Sean Gale.
I'm
thinking of Sean Gale, maybe.
I have no idea.
But there's a Dave out there that I'm sure just went to. Why am I drawing a blank? Dave.
Dewerson was Notre Dame.
Ooh. That leads into our week one. But anyway. I'm not talking about your Uncle Dave that's been sitting there trying to, your mom's telling you, stay away from Uncle Dave. He smells like friggin' Christian Slater, right? Just stay away from him. I'm not talking about Uncle Dave. I'm talking about Dave, the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. All right. That's more money to fill your tank, buy a wedding gift, catch up on bills. Cause let's be honest, people, we've all been in a jam where we needed some cash. All right. Maybe you went to the Buckeye game, got a little cherry bombed, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're spending money you don't got, and all of a sudden, the first of the month is around the corner, and you're not a football player, so you can't get those tattoo deals. All right. No, seriously. But like, what if you, that was the most ridiculous.
Shout
they
out
got
to
a
Mo
tattoo.
Claret. Man.
But, honestly, that's why Dave is fantastic. Dave is a banking app. You can get $500 instantly with extra cash with Dave. And get this, there's no interest, no credit check needed. All right. Cause we all know maybe you're 25 years old. You never paid your fucking credit card. You just thought, hey, let me go spend. I'm going to Cancun for a weekend, mom. Right. And then you just thought, hey, no one schooled you. No one schooled you on, hey, you got to start paying this thing back. Well, even if your credit is completely shit, you're good. You could still get $500 here and get out of a jam. So download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member of the FDIC. All right, we are back talking Buckeyes. Oh man, the transfer portal. They don't need to go out and get much, Patty C, but I do think they landed a couple nice pieces. I think they lost the portal, but they might have won the portal. I'm curious your thoughts. Outgoing defensive lineman Noah Potter went to Luke Fickell in the Cincinnati Bearcats. Safety Marcus Hooker went to the Penguins of Youngstown State. Shout out to the Penguins. Cornerback Andre Turrentine went to the Tennessee Vols. Defensive lineman Jacoby Cowan went to North Carolina. Throw your hands up, Patty C.
There you go.
Safety Bryson Shaw went to Southern Cal. Cornerback Lahan Cavazos. I don't know how to fucking say these names. He went to North Carolina. Safety Johnson went. He's in the portal. Defensive lineman Kermonte Hamilton's in the portal. Cornerback Savion Banks, who I am very familiar with. He went to LSU to be with to Brian Kelly.
Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started. And I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
So Banks is there with his family. JP Adronde, quarterback portal. They lost defensive lineman Darian Henry Young to Kentucky. Cornerback Ryan Watts to the Texas Longhorns. Quarterback Jagger LaRoe, great name. Safety Craig Young to the Kansas Jayhawks. Quinn Ewers stole a bunch of money from Columbus. I almost hope they play in a bowl game to say fuck you back to him.
Yeah, they should. That'd be good.
They also lost quarterback Jack Miller. He's working on a spy novel down in Gainesville, Florida with the Gators. Safety Amir Reap is in the portal. Linebacker Kavion Pope is in the portal, and they lost Dallas Grant, a linebacker, to the Toledo Rockets. But Patty C, you think that they did lose that's a shit ton of talent. They lost, but they gained Diamante Trainum from Arizona State, and I think he will be a difference maker. I think they also went out and got Parker Lewis from USC.
Well, if you're hoping they lose, he does not lose.
Great name. But the big one here, Tanner McAllister, brother of Kevin McAllister. All right.
Are they going to be home alone this year?
Yes.
No, I think they're going to have a lot of fans because they're looking for a great season.
That's what I'm saying. Tanner McAllister. All right. Would you? I think he's going to be pretty damn good. And I think him knowing Knowles' defense brought over. That was a huge get. That was a huge get to me. Besides that, that's all they got. 3 players. It's like the Ohio Bobcats. We just previewed 3 players. Did they win or lose the portal, Patty C?
That's tough to say. doesn't sound like they lost a ton, but a couple guys
we were familiar with.
Yeah, I call it a push.
I'm gonna call it a wash too.
73 nationally, 9th within the conference in terms of incoming talent. That doesn't. I mean, it's weird because they're all over the place. In 2019, they were the number 2 transfer class in the country. In 2021, they're the number 210 transfer class in the country. So they don't really have a transfer like MO. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah. Talk to me about recruiting.
They do have a recruiting.
Yeah, about to
MO.
say they dominate that.
It's called kick everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Last 5 years, 2, 7, 5, 2, 4 nationally. That's been good within the conference for 1, 3, 1, 1, 1. The curiosity there, though, that number 3 class within the conference is the 2019 class. Those are seniors this year, and they were behind Michigan and Penn State.
He's coming at you, Buckeyes fans. I think that means he's on the under.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Within the well, here we go. Here's where it really stands out. National composite rank over the last 4 cycles: 1, 2, 3, 3, and then within the conference, obviously 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So
they should win the conference.
Yeah, they're very, very talented. We're
so
well
why is Ryan Day in the top
this.
5 coaches every fucking thing I read?
Because he does what he's supposed to with the
He didn't
talent.
win the Big Ten last year. They're supposed to win the Big Ten last year.
Fair.
Next. All right.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well, not if you're supposed to. That means you're doing exactly what you should be doing.
Okay. Well, if you can't do any better.
No, you should be winning national championships then, right?
No, because Alabama's more talented and they got to the national championship and they should have gotten to the national
They
championship.
didn't get there.
Huh? 2 years ago, they did against Alabama.
No. But I'm saying, okay, Alabama. Okay.
And 3 years ago, they should have gotten there against LSU.
All I'm saying is Joe Burrow left that team.
Joe Burrow ain't walking through that locker room for the Buckeyes.
All right, look,
CJ
Ryan
Stroud
Day.
is.
You can't shit on Ryan Day, but at the same time, I still think you can question, and
Sure.
that's all I'm doing is questioning.
Well,
Ryan Day.
I think your observation about Kevin Wilson being the offensive coordinator, maybe being a big part of that. Although I think Ryan Day's offensive acumen is well proven.
Let me just if we put, I'm just curious, if we had Chip Kelly at Ohio State, what do you think his record would be in that same run?
It'd be pretty good.
I think it'd be better.
I don't.
Really?
The only thing
I think they would have won the Big Ten every year.
Maybe. It's tough to say. Almost everyone who's taken over that job completely dominates. Obviously, Luke Fickell was dealt a shit hand.
Once again, and I'm not saying Day deserves to be fired or anything. I'm just saying, like, when I see the top 5 coaching list, and I always see him there, I'm like, well, fuck. I feel like every coach could do that with that talent.
He hasn't really proven it yet that he can build. He basically was handed a Ferrari, and he's driving it pretty well.
Yeah. It's going.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying this thing's total.
He stepped on the gas.
Yeah.
But I think he's doing pretty well. A lot of dudes will wreck that, and he's not wrecking it. In fact, the offense.
Really? Who would wreck that?
Let's see. Mark Helfrich, Larry Coker. There are a number of coaches that have been handed a straight up Ferrari.
I would argue what Larry Coker was going to the ACC. Things got a little. The Big East used to be Cream Puffville.
Sure.
We're going to a road game at Temple in UConn is a little bit different than playing
on a week to week basis. Of course,
not that different from playing
they
Duke
were
and Georgia Tech.
slaughtering pretty much everyone in their path, though. Even in the postseason, I mean, Nebraska was a pretty good team. They shellacked them. But yes, I agree with you. But Mark Helfrich, anyway,
that's Oregon though. It's completely different.
Yes, this is a different situation.
Cannot compare the Ducks to Ohio State unless you're talking last season.
I agree. It's almost impossible to prove yourself at Ohio State. You just, what it is. You have to sustain
you have to
it.
like for you to like really prove it to me that you're like elite. You gotta win national championships.
Yeah,
because you should be one of the teams in the playoffs every year for a 14 playoff. Every single year you should be in there.
Yeah, pretty close.
So that's not, but I'm saying you should be in there doesn't mean like you're impressing me.
Yeah,
I'm saying that's what you should be doing.
That's the expectation.
And like I said, I'm not trying to shit on him. I think he's clearly doing a decent job.
I think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good coach. And what impresses me is,
I think it remains to be seen. If I see him take over the fucking Toledo Rockets and he goes 10-2, then I'll say, that guy can coach.
Sure. Has he hasn't had he been a head coach at any previous stops?
I don't think so. Right? Wasn't he with Chip Kelly?
Assistants.
Ironically, that's the example I bring up.
Yeah, this is his only head coaching stop. Pretty nice situation to step into. But I have been very, very impressed with how well prepared Ohio State is. They don't seem to really make that many mistakes. The passing defense obviously suggests a little otherwise.
I'm about to say, I'm like, I you can't have the 97th.
Either way, you're
defense.
A certified hater.
You got 5 stars everywhere. You can't have the 97th ranked pass defense.
That's true. That's a good point. Anyway,
you sure about that 5 minutes? Okay. Let's get to the schedule, Patty C, because Vegas, if you're watching on YouTube, is calling for 10.5 wins.
Let me tell you real quick what I meant by that. I'm sure you completely understand, but when I was talking about the defense needing to, it's just an example came to mind. New York Giants versus New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. When you have that super pass rush like Michigan did last year with Ajabo and Hutchinson.
Wait, yeah, Hutchinson, yeah.
Then you don't have to send 5 or 6 to get pressure. You can just send those 2 off the edge. They're going to get there most of the time, and then you can drop 8, and then that whole passing system. And that's basically what happened with the Patriots in the Super Bowl against the Giants. Like you had that, Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, all that action. They send 4, and then Tom Brady he can't do his little pick apart routine, and that's when you need to be able to lean on the run. We'll see if
they make more of a commitment to it,
or if there's any team that can generate that kind of pass rush against them.
Yeah, I was about to say Michigan. Those guys
lost
are gone.
a lot. Yeah,
so I can tell you this:
Alabama will.
Yeah, Clemson and Georgia probably will as well.
Yeah.
Assuming Clemson can get there. Vegas is calling for 10.5 wins. Let's see the mark here. So minus 250 on the over. So Vegas is basically saying they're going 11-1. The under is plus 200. So if you think Jim Harbaugh really can conquer the Buckeyes in Columbus, which hasn't happened since fucking Clinton was president, I feel like. Then there's a lot of juice there. So let's hop into the schedule, Patty C. Week 1. Oh, this is great. The Fighting Irish, Marcus Freeman, former Ohio State Buckeye,
giving them some.
I saw that
bulletin board material.
Saw that, but he backtracked on it.
It's his own education. He was taking a dump on that. What an idiot.
Yeah. The athletic director of Notre Dame's like, huh? Like you just shit on yourself?
Yeah, that alone.
So you were
underqualified. Ohio State's a good school.
This is a 14.5 spread point spread right now. The extra little 1.5 kind of tricks me. Kind of makes me think Ohio State's going to win by 40, but I'm taking the points.
I felt like I wanted to take the points, but I'm not sure about Buckner, dude. I'm not sure about Buckner.
Well, especially on the road, that's a huge environment.
I think you're right. I think I would be.
I think I have to take the 14.5, but normally when Vegas gives you 14.5,
they're just
you normally lose.
Yeah.
So
Ohio State could swat
Ohio
them.
State wins. I'm gonna call for this. They go easy on their boy. They call off the dogs. 45-31. The hook gets you the cover.
There you go, Domers.
But Ohio State gets the one.
Off to a nice start. You're right. 45-31 does sound about right. They get theirs.
They're going to be up like 42-14, and they're going to let Notre Dame get a couple.
Late ones. Michael Mayer get his.
There you go.
DFS.
Week 2, Butch Jones and the Red Wolves, who won 2 games last year. This game sucks. Better than one of those FCS games though in the SEC. It's better than playing like fucking Mercer, but I mean, it still sucks.
It's group of 5. I mean, it's the
FBS. Worst team statistically. I mean, record wise in the Sun Belt last year.
It's not good. Win.
So 2-0.
Yep.
Then the Toledo Rockets come in. I kind of enjoy this one because it is a little in-state battle, even though I know Toledo was only 6-6 in the regular season last year.
Is it Jason Candle running that show?
It is.
Yeah.
It turned down the OC job for Mario Cristobal to stay at Toledo. Interesting.
That's love.
Yeah. I got Ohio State winning by 40.
Yeah.
Then comes in an interesting one. Can Jim Leonard dial up a defense to just mess with CJ Stroud a little bit? They just don't have. Graham Mertz sucks, dude. He does suck. He was the first guy to get an NIL deal too, right?
Yeah. I mean,
fucking hilarious.
He's got his own brand.
Buy my t-shirts.
Yeah, your brand is throwing
complete
interceptions.
a fucking pass. All right.
Wisconsin runs the ball though. What did they? I want to say within the conference. What was their?
Oh, so
leading?
you think the run defense being bad last year, or not even bad, but against Michigan they were, could be an area too, because they were still a top 30 run defense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean that's exactly kind of it. Is Ohio State's weak point seemed to be their pass defense last year. I think they have some guys coming back that will strengthen it a little bit.
They're going to beat Wisconsin, dude.
Yeah, they're going to beat Wisconsin. But
4-0.
Who is the running back? I don't even know who it is. I think Ohio's of all the teams, Wisconsin, Braylon Allen, good running back.
4-0. They host did they ever fucking play a road game? This is my problem with college football, and I'm not blaming Ohio State fans because Georgia and Alabama do the same shit. Even Notre Dame. 4 away games on the whole schedule. Look, we've gone 5. Look at this. They play their second road game on Halloween weekend.
It's pathetic.
I mean, to give you an idea, look, they're playing Saturday, October 1st. They're playing Rutgers, Ohio Stadium. Rutgers by Halloween has already played 4 away games.
Their first 5 games are at home. Ohio State's.
Yeah,
that's idiotic. That's almost half the schedule.
But it's not their fault because that's what Alabama does. That's what Notre Dame does. That's
sure,
what
if you can get it.
But it's you see, as much as we love college football, you see the pyramid scheme that is college football.
It's like, hi, we play an advantage.
That's why we need a large playoff. But this game sucks. They're going to destroy Rutgers.
Yeah.
Okay, now we finally get to an interesting one. Their first road matchup, Saturday, October 8th at Michigan State. But is this interesting? Because they were up 49-0 at halftime last year. Patty C, I called for Michigan State to be fool's gold this year. They were a statistical anomaly last year.
Yeah.
Based on how bad that their defense was, and the fact that they were outgained in like almost every game they won.
Yeah. D'Antonio is a great defensive coach. Who
Mel Tucker. Buddy.
I know.
Okay.
But D'Antonio was the type of great defensive coach that could turn it into a scrap, turn it into a low scoring scrap, and come away with a win late against Ohio State. If you're Mel Tucker and you're trying to play that boat race game, or make it a race, Ohio State will run you out of the stadium.
Well, I think they're going to run Michigan State out of the stadium because even if they've I expect Michigan State to improve that pass defense, but it was 130th last year. There was only 130 teams in the FBS last year. 131 this year.
49-0 at half in this game.
Yeah, they called off the dogs.
Yeah,
they could have won 84-7.
Yeah.
They should have. That would have been great.
That was one of the most impressive halves of football I've ever watched.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. But it was also proof that Michigan State was I knew it. They were a little fool's gold there. I got them winning that.
Yeah.
I got them 6-0. They get a bye week and they're home to the Iowa Hawkeyes. You know, Iowa, if it's in Iowa City, be scared. If it's on the road, Iowa then turns into like
paper tiger.
I feel like Iowa on the road is like the same as like Colorado State on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're just like an average Mountain West team on the road.
They're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
We don't have our surroundings.
At home, they're like a top LSU. 10 team. Yeah. I got them waxing Iowa at home.
Yeah. Here's the one you obviously have to circle.
Well, this is the one I'm going to call.
You're calling it.
I am. I mean, look, I got a game to mess with here.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to take a loss out of all of these games, it's going to be at Penn State. I don't think it's the Michigan game. I don't think it's the Iowa or Wisconsin game or Michigan State. I will call for Michigan or for Penn State. Sorry, to get the dub at Beaver Stadium. But this is a big if because I still feel like Ohio State. These games are always like chippy.
Yeah, they've been very close.
I feel like Penn State's let them off the hook a couple times.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Ohio State won this game, but I'm just going to call. Look, the number's 10.5. The number's 10.5. Yeah. I can give them one loss.
This is like a shoe-in that Ohio State's going to get this. Sean Clifford enters essentially his 5th year.
First year in the same offense though, back-to-back years.
Really?
It's crazy.
I mean, last year pretty decent. 3,100 passing yards.
His O-line sucked, man.
21 touchdowns, 8 picks.
I'm not a full believer that he's nasty or anything, but he didn't get any help from that O-line.
He could have an improved year enough to make this game interesting. if I'm taking this, if I'm throwing money down, Ohio State's getting the win. So
I've been pretty spot on with Ohio State road losses over the past
you've been
decade.
Almost like clairvoyant. It's been really impressive.
I called for ahead of the beginning of the year. That year that Iowa smacked them, I said that's the game that's going to get them.
Yeah,
I think I called the Penn State block kick game, and I believe I called the Purdue game.
You called Purdue too.
Yeah.
You have been on point, although it is typically pretty easy. Actually, those ones were a little harder. Purdue, I did not expect.
Normally the Penn State one's kind of easy.
You go, okay.
Yeah.
Especially if it's on the road.
Purdue and Iowa game, you called me a fool.
I don't know if I called you a fool for the Iowa one, but I was surprised by the Purdue one. I was like, you're wrong. That's not a game Ohio State drops, and they got throttled.
Well, I'm calling this one to be the Penn State one.
Well, okay. If I were to call,
don't worry, they're still going to win the fucking Big Ten.
That wasn't Michigan. I would call this, but if there's one game I'm actually worried about on their schedule, we're gonna get to it.
Well, after this, the back-to-back away. Shout out to Kevin Warren for giving them Northwestern on the back end of the big back-to-back away.
Yeah,
they would never do that to Northwestern. Give them someone like them.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you get Ohio State on the back-to-back away.
That's right.
This is even though I think Patty Fitz is going to have the team better this year. No, they can't play with them.
I mean, it could be. I mean, this is the kind of Purdue though has the offense that
Purdue.
What I'm saying is like a few years ago when Purdue did this, it was like, okay, if they're on fire,
yeah.
But the question is can Pat Fitzgerald draw up a defense that slows this offense down?
I think slightly.
Maybe he could do a Mark D'Antonio impression on them.
They can't get.
I doubt it.
No.
Yeah.
Then they get the Indiana Hoosiers. They're not good.
Yeah.
That's going to be a win. And then they're at Maryland. And Ohio State normally beats Maryland on average by like 77 points.
Expect more of the same here, even in College Park.
Maryland. This is evidence that you don't need, there's too many bowls. Because Maryland making a bowl, and I know they ended up with a winning record last year because Virginia Tech had like 75 players not play in that bowl game.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at Maryland's schedule, Patty C, this is one of the most fascinating things ever.
They lost so many games.
They
by
did
so many
not
points.
beat a team with a winning record in the regular season, right?
Yeah.
They beat West Virginia 5-7, right? They beat Howard of the FCS, right? They beat Illinois in a game that they should have lost. Illinois was 5-7, right?
Yeah.
Kent State actually, they were 500.
Okay.
They did beat them, right? They beat Indiana by 3 and they beat Rutgers. But look, every team they played that was actually good, these are the scores. They lost at home to Iowa, who I just said is Colorado State on the road.
Yeah.
51-4. I didn't know Iowa could ever score 51 points, especially on the road. Like I would have bet 51 points for the season on the road.
Yeah.
They lost to Ohio State 66-17. They lost to Minnesota and one of the closer ones, 34-16. Right? Michigan State beat them 40-21. Penn State 31-14. Michigan 59-18. This team sucks, and they got to a bowl. There's too many bowl games.
Did you just jinx Ohio State?
No. I will lay 31 in this game.
Yeah, even on the road, probably.
Even on the road, you act like College Park is a tough place to go to.
I'm just saying they got a little run for their money a few years back, didn't they?
Okay, and then comes the game.
Yeah,
against Michigan. Jim Harbaugh. Sign me up. I'm ready to watch this right fucking now.
Let me tell you what.
This is why I want a large playoff because I'm not happy with just one Ohio State Michigan game a season. I want to see this happen again in the playoff.
The game 2.0 at least every couple years.
Like in the playoffs or whatever.
What about Michigan Ohio State National Championship?
Fantastic. Sign me up.
How amazing would that be?
Come on. The stakes become greater. That's
yeah. I mean, we just saw it with Georgia, Alabama, and that is now a nasty little rivalry they got going on.
But they don't play for like the next 17 years.
Yeah, they don't even play every year, and they still chip you. Imagine Ohio State and Michigan going at it like that.
I got revenge. Ryan Day, all that shit, all that stuff I was saying. Ryan Day, you make it up to me here. You beat the tar out of Captain Comeback, and I buy in.
Let me tell you what, I am really concerned for Ohio State in this game. On the Michigan podcast, I took Ohio State to get this. But seeing how loaded Michigan's offense is, that defense I feel like will be okay. I mean, Ohio State has run up a lot of points on them, so they need to be tight. But I'm worried that Ohio State's offense isn't going to be able to stop Michigan. We could see one of the highest scoring games in this series history this year, I think.
Knowles, it's November 26th. He'll have the defense in check a little bit.
You think?
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be top
Dude,
5.
I'm just saying Michigan had dudes that were like really good on the offensive side of the ball, moving over to the defensive side because there's just no room on that offensive side of the ball to get the rock. Like,
I feel pretty confident about it.
I don't. But that said, I did take Ohio State on the Michigan podcast, so I'm going to do it again. I think they're probably
even if they lost this game for you, you're still on the over.
I think they're 12-0. You know.
Yeah,
but
lock it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only thing is, I don't normally locking up 10.5. But
let's take a look at Ohio State's regular seasons of late. The last time that they had 2 regulars,
probably the year that Meyer left.
Yeah, they were 12-2 that year. Did they lose in the conference championship game or did they win the conference?
I'm not. I'm pulling it up right now. They lost to Oklahoma by 15 and maybe 2 in the regular season, and at Iowa. Iowa dropped 55 on in Kinnick. See, they're a top 10 team in Kinnick, man.
There you go. But other than that, that's the only one that they've lost 2 regular season games.
Hammer that over. I know
since
that juice
Luke
is terrible,
Fickell.
but still,
yeah.
Hammer that
Lock
over.
it up. Lock it up,
folks. I'm on the over. He's on the over. Lock it up. Subscribe to the College Football Experience. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes, and if you do that, take a screenshot of your review. Find me on Twitter at @DColbyD. Show us that, or you can find me at TCE on SGPN. That's the College Football Experience Twitter feed. Show me that, and we'll send you a College Football Experience T-shirt. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. Give him a follow. NC Nick's on Twitter at NC_NICK. Fred Durst is on Twitter, I think at Fred Durst. If I had to guess, you can congratulate him on his postseason success. That talk about a great run. Yeah. Look, now let me ask you this:
that's
Patty
a guy
C.
that can rest on his
knowing what Fred Durst has done in the postseason. Would you take him to run your team over Ryan Day in the playoff?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he would.
Fred Durst and put him as president. Let's be honest. Everyone would be swimming in poon.
Fred Durst for president. Look, folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. We're also on YouTube. Subscribe there. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. I'm excited to talk Buckeye basketball. They got some nice transfers. I'm very excited to talk about it. We're gonna have a preview next month or so of the Buckeyes there. So check out that and all of our other feeds. Sports Gambling Podcast, going through the NFL ranks, all 32 teams, the solo podcast for every single team in the land. That means the Bengals. That means the Browns. That means whoever you like, folks, in the NFL. Check that out. And also all of our other feeds. USFL Gambling Podcast. What a great season there in Canton, Ohio that capped off. Oh, yeah. CFL. All right, that's going on right now. I get football craved, and I'm just like, okay, Thursday night, fuck it. Let me watch the Hamilton Tiger Cats. All right, check out the CFL Gambling Podcast. Check out the NBA Gambling Podcast, the MLB Gambling Podcast. Cleveland Indians are playing decent ball. Cincinnati Reds are not, but hey, they're check out that podcast. I think you'll dig it.
Doesn't the NHL have a Columbus team?
Yeah, the Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets. There you go.
Check out the NHL Gambling Podcast. Check out the soccer gambling podcast. We got the World Cup.
Columbus
happening.
Crew. Are they still a thing?
Yeah, I have no idea, but MLS gambling podcast. Check out that. All that. Just get the SGPN app. Hop in the Discord. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. We're talking like college football, college basketball, year round in there. All sports really. You want to know who's going to win the fucking laser tag event going on in fucking Mexico City? You might even have that in that Discord channel. So check it out. We have odds on Antonio minus 275 to win the laser tag tournament there in Mexico City. Folks, subscribe. I'm on the over. He's on the over. This is the College Football Experience, Ohio State Buckeye style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
What the fuck did I do wrong, Tom?
The best looking man, the best dressed man. Long limousine, jet airplanes, custom made clothes. And any woman in the world I want, just like that.
Get my limousine! Nothing is over!
Just don't